Hey there, focused learners, and welcome to a brand new explainer. Today, we're stepping way outside the bounds of normal society and right into the distorted, just unbelievably bizarre reality of prison celebrity. We're unpacking a true, first-hand account that honestly reads like a really dark, surreal comedy. It's a story about human nature, social currency, and a situation so completely surreal that it seems like there's no way it could be true, but it absolutely is. We're going to map out the exact sequence of events that led a naive new inmate to discover the horrifying truth behind her new best friend's so-called popularity. Okay, so to start things off, I really want you to think about a simple question. What exactly makes someone popular? You know, if you think back to high school or even your workplace, popularity usually comes down to what? Charisma, maybe good looks, being good at sports, or just being fun to talk to. It's all about likability, right? Well, I need you to take that entire concept of popularity, crumple it up into a little ball, and just throw it right out the window. Because today, we're going to completely distort that concept as we look at how social status is earned, or actually scratch that, how it's commanded inside the walls of a maximum security prison. All right, Section 1, the solitary confinement VIP, a bizarre roommate.
So our source for today's explainer is an inmate who's basically chronicling the absolutely wild stuff that happens inside prison walls. And our story kicks off in literally the last place you'd ever expect to find a socialite, solitary confinement. The narrator is just sitting there alone in a punishment cell, a place designed for total, crushing isolation, when suddenly the script flips and she gets a new roommate. And right off the bat, she can tell this person isn't just your average inmate. No, this person is a VIP. Just think about the sheer absurdity of these perks sliding under a heavy steel door. We're talking about being in the hole, yet this new roommate is getting fresh coffee, cigarettes, special phone privileges. I mean, the narrator is literally watching room service get delivered to a punishment cell. The immediate, unquestionable reality here is that whoever this roommate is, the normal rules of the prison simply do not apply to her.
Moving on to Section 2, perks in general population. Moving up in prison. So get this, because this incredibly cool new roommate has so much clout, she literally convinces the guards to let both of them out of solitary and transfer them back to general population to share a cell. And man, once they're there, the juxtaposition is just staggering. While everyone else is living this stark, heavily restricted existence, the roommate is basically operating a fully stocked entertainment center. She's got a PlayStation, a radio, a flat-out TV, she has cigarettes, which are incredibly rare and valuable in there, and just endless items from the canteen that other people are constantly giving her. The stark reality of a prison setting completely clashes with this luxurious setup. And the narrator, she's just along for the ride, understandably in awe of her VIP friend who's living the high life. Not once does she stop to ask, how exactly did you become so popular? Section 3, the fan mail economy, funding the VIP status. All right, picture this. It's a totally mundane day. The two of them are sitting in their cell, literally mashing buttons on the PlayStation and munching on snacks from the canteen. It feels entirely domestic, right? Totally out of place for a maximum security prison. But right in the middle of a game, the roommate hits pause, turns to the narrator, and just asks, "Do you know how long I've been here?" And the narrator realizes she actually has no idea. She herself had only been in the prison for a few months. When the roommate replies that she's been there for a long while, it's this crucial, almost darkly comedic pivot point of our explainer. It's the exact moment the narrator's naive little bubble completely cracks, and she realizes she's sharing a tiny, locked room with a total stranger whose past is a complete mystery. So here's where we find out how this whole lifestyle is actually funded. The roommate asks the narrator, "Hey, you want to read some mail? That's how I get all my money." The narrator's curiosity obviously takes over, and she starts reading through these massive stacks of letters. And she realizes it's fan mail, like daily bizarre influxes of true crime fan mail just pouring in from the outside world. Complete strangers are sending this woman money, which she then turns around and uses to buy endless canteen items, funding her whole VIP status. It's a secret economy. But the crazy part is, the narrator still has absolutely no idea why this woman even has fans in the first place. Which brings us to Section 4, the Big Mac murder. A horrifying reveal. Okay, so the narrator is completely blown away by this fan mail, reading through letter after letter, but for the life of her, she still cannot figure out what crime this incredibly cool woman actually committed to end up inside. Finally, the tension just breaks. The narrator asks the ultimate question. What did you do? And the roommate casually, almost deadpan, lays out exactly what happened. Let's walk through this together because it's wild. Step 1, she killed 3 people. Step 2. After killing them, she ran them over with her car. Step 3. She put the bodies into her car. Step 4. With the bodies in the car, she drove through a McDonald's drive-thru to place an order. And Step 5. She returned to the scene, set the bodies on fire, all while sitting there casually enjoying a Big Mac. I mean, the sheer macabre insanity of craving and actually enjoying a fast food burger in the middle of committing such a horrific, chaotic act is almost too surreal to even comprehend. Section 5. Popularity versus pure fear. A dark realization. So bring yourself right back to that cell. The PlayStation is still paused. The illusion of this cool, well-connected friend just evaporates in a single instant as the narrator realizes she is locked in a tiny room with an absolute monster. The true crime fans on the outside might be sending money out of some kind of twisted fascination, but the dynamic inside suddenly makes perfect, crystal clear sense. Which leads us to a necessary redefinition of the word we started this whole explainer with. See, this roommate isn't well liked. This is prison popularity. It's a state of being highly provided for, given endless canteen items and absolute deference simply because nobody wants to take the chance that she's going to give them a ride to McDonald's. It's a hilarious yet incredibly dark realization. The other inmates aren't bribing her because she's like the captain of the cheerleading squad. They're paying a tax to a woman who eats Big Macs over burning bodies. It's an economy based on pure, unadulterated fear. And that leaves us with a final, kind of messed up but provocative thought. As we look at the strange social dynamics at play here, from the outside world sending fan mail to fund a PlayStation, to the inside world offering up cigarettes just to stay on her good side, we really have to ask, where does the line between morbid true crime admiration and basic human survival actually blur? When you're locked in a cage with someone capable of having such a macabre meal, maybe acting like you're their friend is literally the only logical choice you have. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this wild explainer-focused Durners. Keep questioning the bizarre world around you, and I'll catch you next time.